Friends, imagine this. You wake up in the morning and reach for your smartphone as usual, but there is nothing. You try to call your mother, but it won't connect. You look out the window. Cars are crashing into each other on the streets because their GPS has failed. The TV shows nothing but black and white static. You might think the world is under a massive cyber attack, or perhaps World War III has begun. But the truth will be far more cruel. This destruction doesn't require a single nuclear bomb or missile. A tiny broken nut bolt, orbiting hundreds of kilometers above Earth, is enough to push human civilization back by 100 years. Do you think I'm joking? Then watch this video until the end, because this might be the last video you ever watch on the internet. We are on the brink of a catastrophe that science calls the Kessler Syndrome. This isn't just a theory, it is an invisible prison that could lock our future onto this planet forever. The story begins in the 1970s. The entire world was intoxicated by the space race. Neil Armstrong had changed the pages of human history by stepping onto the moon. For humanity, space was an infinite blue playground. No one ever thought that space would run out or that we would create trash there. But in a NASA office in Houston, a 37-year-old scientist named Donald J. Kessler was sitting. That night, the mathematics in front of Kessler painted a terrifying picture that sent shivers down his spine. He realized that even if we stop launching new satellites today, the ones already up there, due to their immense speed, are bound to collide sooner or later. On June 1st, 1978, Kessler warned the world for the first time. But other scientists laughed at him. They said, "Space is vast, Donald. How could two objects possibly collide?" But Kessler remained silent because he knew that while people can lie about calculations, the laws of mathematics never fail. Imagine you're standing in a vast palace made of glass. Thousands of glass panes are arranged with perfect discipline. Now, suppose someone from the outside throws a small pebble at that palace. That pebble will shatter one pane, but the game doesn't end there. Hundreds of razor sharp shards from that single pane will fly at high speeds, hitting 5 or 10 neighboring panes. Those panes will shatter, and their thousands of shards will break the next 100 panes. Within minutes, nothing will remain but debris. Kessler said the same thing would happen in space. He called this the domino effect or a chain reaction. Once this process crosses a certain limit, no superpower in the world will be able to stop it. You might be thinking, what harm can a small nut or bolt do? But friends, in space, size doesn't matter, velocity does. 28,000 kilometers per hour. This speed is 10 times faster than a bullet fired from a gun. When a nut bolt traveling at such a massive speed hits a satellite, it triggers an explosion like a small atomic bomb. Today, Earth's low Earth orbit has become like a crowded railway station. Thousands of satellites and millions of pieces of debris are flying past each other at extreme speeds, like cars racing with blindfolded drivers. The world realized how real this threat was on February 10, 2009. The time was 11:26 a.m. 800 kilometers above Siberia, two massive iron dots were hurtling toward each other at a relative speed of 42,000 kilometers per hour. One was the active American Iridium 33, and the other was the dead Russian Cosmos 2251. In an instant, a horrific explosion occurred. There was no sound, but that collision shattered the two machines into over 1,800 large fragments and millions of microscopic particles. This was the first major step of the Kessler Syndrome. But human ego didn't stop there. Today, space is no longer a center for science, it is a hub for superpower dominance. In 2007, China showed its strength by blowing up its own satellite with a missile. In 2019, India did the same under Mission Shakti. We might have clapped with national pride, but in that very moment, we birthed millions of invisible assassins in space. While this competition rages on, Elon Musk's Starlink is weaving a web of satellites. While the goal of providing internet to every corner of the world is noble, the more satellites there are, the higher the chance of accidents. Today, Starlink satellites change their direction thousands of times a day to avoid collisions. But what if one day a satellite fails due to a technical glitch and loses control? It will be like a stray bull, free to massacre other satellites. Are we losing our security forever in the pursuit of high speed internet? Imagine a time 60 years from now. A young boy asks his grandfather, Grandpa, did we humans really go to the moon once? Did we really dream of living on Mars? The grandfather looks at the darkened sky filled with debris and says, Yes, child, we did, but with our own hands we permanently closed the road to the stars. This is what scientists call space lockout. Layers of debris around Earth will become so thick that launching a rocket would be an invitation to death. We will become helpless creatures on a planet that has built a prison around itself, one with no lock and no key. Google Maps will fail, banking will collapse, and we will be pushed back into the 19th century. Human strength has always been in discovering new frontiers. We crossed oceans, conquered mountains, but Kessler Syndrome will cut us off from the vast universe forever. We will have intelligence, we will have the will, but because of our own greed, we will have destroyed our platform. We will look at the sky, but only to realize that going there is no longer in our destiny. This won't just be a failure of science, it will be the greatest failure of human civilization. We couldn't save the earth, and now we won't be able to go anywhere else. But friends, time hasn't completely run out yet. Sweet pearls like Japan's Astroscale or Europe's Clear Space are gearing up. They are building satellites that will catch debris like a spider's web and pull it back into Earth's atmosphere to burn up. But this task is 1,000 times harder than cleaning the oceans. Kessler syndrome isn't just a matter of science, it is a question of our morality. We dreamed of leaping into the sky, but we forgot our responsibility to keep the road clean. Tonight, when you step out of your house and look at the sky, look closely at the silence. Next time you see a star twinkling, stop for a moment and think, is that truly a distant star or a piece of metal hurtling at 28,000 kilometers per hour toward our destruction? Whether we become prisoners of Earth or travelers of the stars depends on our actions today. What steps do you think the world should take to stop the Kessler syndrome? Let us know in the comments. And if you found this information valuable, make sure to subscribe to VG Explore. Goodbye for now. See you in the next video. Until then, keep learning, keep exploring.